Welcome to Focus on the Candidates. I'm Cynthia Pooler. My guest today is Evan Space, and Evan is running for governor of Michigan. So, Evan, tell us a little bit about your candidacy. Why did you want to jump into a race, for governor?
Well, this is not my first time at this. I
Okay.
started in 2018. I ran in 2018. I almost secured the Constitution Party in 2018 here in Michigan. Uh, I continued on as a write-in candidate and continued making my policies, what I want to see happen for the state of Michigan. And some of the policies that I've adjusted since then, and even in 2022 that I ran, show that they're actually being put into action here in the state of Michigan. One of them was actually being electrified roads, where we can electrify a road and it actually allows the vehicle to charge while it goes down it. Or putting in toll highways was one of my greatest ideas for be able to build the state's revenue without being able to hurt the taxes in the state, and putting up by the borders and not exactly inside our state like what they want to do. So a few things have been adjusted in the favor of how they want to move forward with those kinds of policies that I look at. I'm a big fan of the Pipeline Five, and what I really want to do for the residents of the state of Michigan is I want to make an economy for Michigan that actually works. I've been doing this for the last couple of election cycles. This is my third time in it, and somehow the media has decided to leave me out of the game. I don't believe that that's going to happen. I'm going to be in the game, and I'm collecting the signature count that I need. I need everybody that can see my name out there, Evan Space, to support me and get on my ballot so I can be a part of the primaries coming up here next year in 2026.
Mm.
Uh, I really am a strong believer in the middle class, that we're struggling with trying to make a nice tax break for the citizens in the state, and we're also dealing with issues along the things like literacy and being able to improve the third grade reading level and those kinds of issues for the state of Michigan. And what can we do to make them better? I say that we need to work with the education system, whether you're a right or a left, and that's a huge issue that we need to make happen, because if our kids can learn the right way and grow up better and have understanding in this new technological world that we're in, then I think that it's a wonderful way for us to be able to move forward, knowing that our future generations will be well secured. But it can't happen without putting the input and putting the progress in to be able to improve those kinds of issues that we have.
So, in your previous elections, what did you run for?
I was a gubernatorial candidate in all three elections now.
Okay. Okay.
Um, yes, in 2022 there was a chance that I had that I almost took the Libertarian Party in 2022.
Mhm.
I only took second to Bazuma. Um, I felt that they could have made a more of an effort if they had actually put me forward as their candidate, to show what a third political party could do in moving in the right direction. I
Mhm.
just felt that she wanted to make the party initiative because she was the favorite. But that's the thing, the kind of things that you deal with. Um, and you just move on and you make yourself more successful by getting up and dusting yourself off if something doesn't work out.
S-
Um,
Go ahead.
Well, since then I've been running, and I was a write-in at 2022, and I decided that I'm going to continue the policies and same initiative I wanted for the state. And I'm seeing stuff like Pipeline Five game pushed forward, so it gets built underneath the Straits of the Mackinac. Uh, One of the big things that has happened, really on top of that, was that I was also looking at making a rail system that would go under with the with the tunnel system as well. That's the way that we can be able to commute back and forth between the lower peninsula and the upper peninsula during the times that the bridge has issues or is closed. It's not always easy transport, but if we can make a connection between the upper peninsula and the lower peninsula, we might be able to make a huge impact in how the economy is working between those two different worlds. A lot of people haven't been up there yet or be able to witness such a great UP, but that's a part of Michigan. There's always something unique to explore out here.
So,
So,
go, have, have, how is the press dealing with your campaign?
well, I put out about 20 to 30 different emails out to different journalists, and I have had very, very little um, feedback is what I'm looking for. And I don't think that that's exactly way the election should be running. Everybody that should be able to put out there should be able to announce that they are actually running for governor of the state of Michigan, kind of like what I'm doing right now, announcing over your cast. I'm actually running for governor of the state of Michigan in 2026. And yes, I am a gubernatorial candidate that has actually filed. My first filing actually happened last year, and the reason why I'm having some of this little bit of a problematic feedback with the media is because of issues like where I have gone through the Bureau of Elections, and I want to fix these kinds of issues also as well as a candidate, but they took my paperwork when I had filed in February of last year in 2024 and threw it out, but they never emailed me or said anything about that. And I was lucky that my signature count wasn't that high at the moment because none of it would have ever counted. So I had to refile this year, and when I did, I was being shadowed by some very big names. But I don't believe the big names in the game is what makes the best candidate. A candidate can come from anywhere. Is how they've lived their life and the experiences they've received to be able to make them that person that could help change an economy like I would for the state. One of the biggest things that I want to make is 51st statehood. And you've heard all this going on in the news about how the president was asking for the 51st state for either Greenland or for Canada. But
Mhm.
the thing has been going on for me for the 51st statehood for the Upper Peninsula since 2018 when I was running. And that's something that I really do believe that if they were able to secure their own economy, they could actually improve the output of being up there. It's different areas. If you've ever been up the Upper Peninsula, it's absolutely amazing. I did my time up there at Calumet, Michigan, where I did my National Guard service, and that was quite amazing. Um, I'll never regret any moment of it.
So you said that they threw your petitions out. Who did that?
Actually, not my petitions. No, what they did was they actually took and they threw out my first filing as candidacy last year.
Okay.
So that's so
So
important for people.
who did that?
It was through the Bureau of Elections, actually.
Okay. Were you surprised that they did that?
Uh, Fairly surprised.
Mm-hmm.
I had to dig a little bit. I was trying to figure out why I was having some issues on people not being able to contact me. Then I realized that I wasn't even with an active campaign committee, so I had to resubmit my campaign committee and refile it, which happened this year, right in March.
So how many signatures did you have when they threw them out?
I had luckily I only had like a couple hundred. That was about it.
Okay. So then you
So
had to go back and get those signatures again.
I'm looking at restarting all over. Yes.
Wow. Wow. So you're not getting much coverage in the mainstream media. You're having problems with the Board of Elections. What areas are you doing well in?
Well, whenever I get a nice meet and greet or a sit down with uh, people who are looking for potential sponsoring of a candidate, I do a very good job explaining what I stand with the state and the transparency that I want to bring to it with the economy and working with all the citizens of the state of Michigan.
So, what are the most important issues you feel that you're running on in the state of Michigan?
Well, education would be a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Relieving the property tax in the state of Michigan and alleviating the state income tax as well are
Mm-hmm.
big things. Definitely want to continue with the education of the and making improvements with our children as they get further along, and also give new opportunities to colleges and universities out there or trade schools alike with new educational opportunities and careers that are new building that we haven't seen in our past because our future is moving forward in technology, and that's what we need to do. So space exploration is a huge thing that I would like to concentrate on for the state of Michigan for manufacturing parts and supplies or anything that would be along mission standards for helping us move forward with the space exploration programs. We have a space launch up here in the Upper Peninsula, and I really would love to see the Upper Peninsula thrive with a very good balance between the environment and the space launch site itself, knowing that there has to be, there has to be some security with that. Uh, some are in favor of it up there, and some are not in favor of up there. But it's a good extra launch site. That's a northern launch site, and it's not down in the south like in Texas or in Florida at all. And that's one thing that I want to help with Michigan, along with bringing good military structure to the state, maybe even making a full-time active military base here for our soldiers to be able to work out of right here in Michigan. If it may be an air guard base or it may be a National Guard base, I'd like to see it more of like a trading TRADOC base, like Atterbury over in Indiana.
So, when you go around talking to people, what has your response been?
Very positive. People like the fact that I have a more of an independent thinking mindset. And though I'm a very Republican initiated candidate, I
Mm.
will be able to look at both sides of the political aisle and be able to decide what is the best things that we can be able to do for a decision to be made for our state and for the citizens of the state of Michigan, rather than to be one-sided about everything and not be able to see some balance in there. That's what brings me up as a unique candidate. I believe in the constitutional conservative behaviors of many out there, but sometimes if you go too far right or too far left, you're going to find yourself off of the table and not really working for anything that's going to balance out what would work best.
If you've been locked out of the mainstream media, how do you get your message out?
Social media networks, I try my best to. I haven't really been putting out a lot of videos yet because I want to get to my established new property I have where I can be able to expand and make my campaign headquarters up there in Big Rapids, which I'm really excited. This will be happening very soon, and I'll be able to put some events together starting when I finally get my home.
Okay. What have you over the past few years since you started running? What have you learned?
Well, I've learned that politics is not an easy thing to get into.
Hmm.
You have to be able to go with the punches, and you have to be able to learn from what will work out there and what will not work out there.
Hmm.
Uh, is it a nice world? No. Uh, it's definitely challenging and it's given me a lot of a mindset to have a career goal of where I want to go with an economy on a large level. I saw the need as I went through school over at Grand Valley State University that when I got done with my capstone, I knew where I wanted to go in politics and what I wanted to do with it, and that was along the lines of a senator or along the lines of a gubernatorial candidate. And here I am on my third election cycle, and running actively, collecting the signatures I need to get on the ballot for Michigan.
So, how many signatures do you need?
To get on the ballot, you need 15,000 valid signatures in the state of Michigan by April 20th of next year. Once that is done, you want to go beyond the 15,000 mark, because there will be signatures that will be not valid or will be thrown out. And that's just what happens in the state of Michigan. So that's why when you asked me earlier about the whole thing about losing these signatures was it an issue or not, that's because it's just one of those things. It's a battle of being able to deal with the whole cycle and be able to make sure that you're not going to let yourself fall and not get up. You have to get up every time you fall.
So what's the time frame in which you can get signatures?
Well, it's between now and April 20th of next year. 4 p.m. will be the cutoff time.
So you can start getting signatures now.
Yes, I have been. Yes.
And see, I live in New York,
Mhm.
and the time frame in which, if you're running statewide, it was 15,000 signatures, and you had to get them in a month.
A
Now,
month.
when Cuomo was governor, he
Mhm.
raised that to 45,000. So he basically shut out all third-party candidates.
I
So
know how that goes. That's politics for you right there.
right. So as somebody who wanted to run statewide would have to get 45,000 signatures in a month's time.
Yes, and then you have to add on to it that it's going to be at least $2 per signature, at least two, and most signatures go for $3 to $5, even up to $6 per signature, depending on how heavy the pack is that is running with that. And then you add that to 45,000, you're talking a very large number just to get onto the ballot, whether
Right.
you make it or not.
Mm-hmm. So if you become governor, would you change that?
Michigan has a relatively decent one. It's, I would change things about limiting, the viewing of candidates like what's happening with me, and make sure that it's more open. That if there are people that are in certain political parties like that they're not being shuttered away.
Mm-hmm.
Michigan's is only about 15,000, and it's relatively easy with some of the lesser offices to run as well. Sometimes it's only as much as 2,000 signatures you need, but 45,000 signatures for your state is quite an impressive number.
It sure is. So if somebody wants to contact you or volunteer for your campaign, make a donation, how can they do so?
They can get through many different ways to me. They can get through to me at Governor Space, just like it sounds, Governor and then Space at gmail.com.
Mhm.
They can reach out to me through my website at spaceforgovernor.com. They can
Okay.
also reach out to me through my Facebook on Evan Space. You can reach out there and find me. You can also find me on LinkedIn, also on Twitter or X now. You can find me as Evan Space there. Same with Instagram and TikTok. I am at the Space Governor. That's what I am for my TikTok. There's some other ones I do. I'm also involved with other videos, but you can also find me on Ballotpedia as well. And those are all the avenues that you can find me to get in contact.
Final thoughts about politics.
You know, it's not a world that everybody gets into and thinks that it's just that easy, but it is rewarding. It is beneficial. And if you do the right things as a candidate and as a politician, you'll be able to change the economy for the better for not just you, but for everyone around you. And that will always be something as a part of history and be a part of your legacy of which you want to leave behind, and something that I want to reach out and do for the citizens in the state of Michigan. I want to be able to make the state of Michigan great and wonderful. I want to make this is a tongue twister. I want to make Michigan magnificent.
Okay. So people can say,
Making Michigan magnificent.
right. That sounds nice. So, Evan, thank you so much for being on Focus on the Candidates. I'm Cynthia Pooler. You've been listening to Evan Space, who's running for governor. So if you like the show, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Evan, thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you, Cynthia. You as well.